Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are back in the shop. As you guys can see, we've got the SS behind me and we've got the Corvette back behind me as well. We will not be working on either one of those cars today. Today we're going back to one of those truck repair videos that I've mentioned several times in the past. And I believe this will be the third or fourth video in this little repair series that we've got going on. So as you guys saw in the past videos, we fixed the door, we fixed the tires and steering, and now we're going to fix the air conditioning. Now, what do I mean by fixing the air conditioning? Well, the issue that we've had on the truck is, actually we've had two issues. One is when I hit a bump, the driver's side HVAC will switch from heat to cold or cold to heat. Just depends like which cycle, what time of the year it is. So we're in the summer, it's hot now, you know, so I've got the heat turning on when I want my air conditioning set to 60 degrees. So that's the first issue we have. And the second issue we have is when we were going down the highway, again, we hit another bump. And what happens is the blower motor stays on just fine without issue. But what happens is the door that kind of controls which direction to push the blower motor in, it gets stuck. So like the blower motor could be on full blast, but that door will be fully closed. So it's not coming out the defrost, it's not coming out the floor, it's not coming out the dash vents. It just gets stuck in this mode, and the only way to reset it is to turn the truck off. So we've got a couple issues, and to fix these issues, what we've gone ahead is order several of these door actuators from, this company is AA Ignition. These are on Amazon. I'll have a link in the description down below. But basically, as you guys can see, the OEM part number is 1573952. Also GWA 201. I believe the one ending in 73952, I believe that's the AC Delco part number for these, or it might be the Dorman part number, one of those two. So you guys, you have to be very specific and very careful with ordering these. If you guys go on Amazon and just type in, so my truck's a 2005 GMC 2500. If I just type that in, you'll get 6 different options. And Amazon is not smart enough to tell you which one is the correct one. What I had to do was put my VIN number into gmpartsdirect.com. I was able to confirm that I have the automatic dual climate control with a digital display. So those 3 options are 3 different part numbers for the entire system. They don't share a similar door actuator part number for all of them. They're all different. And from what I saw on the GM diagram, 3 out of the 4 doors are that same partner, ending in that, like, I think it was like 3752. So 3 of the 4 are already that same part number, and the 4th one is a different part number. So it just, this stuff gets super complicated super quick. So make sure you guys look up your VIN number, part number at any of the GM dealership sites. GM Parts Direct works pretty well. Punched in numbers, got the GM part number I needed. And then I looked elsewhere for that, and that's how I found them on Amazon. The passenger side is gonna be a lot easier. You gotta take out these 2 7mm screws that are holding in this black plastic duct. And all you gotta do is kind of remove those screws and pull this out. So there you go, 2 screws and should be good to go. And throw this in the back with the rest of your parts. Now, this one is literally right here. I'm not sure you guys can see it, but you're gonna press in on this little red button right here, and there you go. We've disconnected the electrical for it, and we've got to remove the 2 screws. I think they're 5.5mm. Let me confirm that, and then we'll pull the 2 screws out. We've gotten the factory one out. This one was actually a little bit tricky because you've got to get these 2 6mm screws out underneath the dash, and the way these are sitting is they're sitting up in the dashboard like that, and you've got to get these screws out from the left side here and the right side here. This back one does not get one, and so that's kind of plopped in there like that. You got to pull it down, and when you do, make sure you move the harness, because the harness plugs going up, not down, so that way when you got your old unit and your new unit, that you've got them facing the same way. So here you go. Here's the plug is facing downward, plug is facing downward, and what we're going to do is take those 2 6mm screws, put them back in on this corner and this corner, put it back up in the dash, and we should be good to go on the passenger side. The 2 screws holding this bottom actuator door are in. Now what you can do is plug it back in. And there you go. The passenger side is now done. You do need to flip the cover back on, put the 2 7mm screws back on, and you should be good. It might look like a bit of a mess in here, but all we've done is take off the trim bezel around the HVAC controls, the radio, and the speedometer. We also took off the lower dash panel. That is going to be 2 7mm bolts right here. Take those out, those are on the bottom. And I found what we're looking for. The door actuator is actually way the heck up there. I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to see it. But if you see a red plug in the middle of the screen, the top middle of the screen, that's what we're looking for. We got to get that out. All right, now that we've got the driver's side out, you can see that I pulled out the gear with it. I wasn't sure how this was going to exactly pull out, but basically what we're going to have to do is line up this gear right here with what's going on the door itself. I believe this is the correct orientation of the actuator and the little gear door behind it. If you guys look, it is going to mount up and down, so like right there, and then the wire will be vertical. So I'm pretty sure that this is correct. If you guys look at the old one, you'll see that we have some damage, well, just some marking from the screw on top and the bottom. And we're going to slide this back up under the dash. You guys won't be able to see it very well, but like up, if you see where that harness is, it's basically back up behind there. So we have the air conditioning fully functioning yet again. So I wanted to show you the different modes, and it's right now in the upper and bottom vent. Yeah, I can feel it coming out the bottom and the top. We'll change it to bottom only. You guys will hear the gear move, and it's definitely coming out the bottom down here. Defrost, it's coming up the top, coming out the bottom, and full vent. It's working just fine. All right, so that's gonna be it for pretty much replacing these 2 door actuators, the one on the passenger side bottom, the one on the driver's side bottom, you know, pretty much behind the center console. Now, if you guys did not have a center console set up, this would be so much easier, because it's literally right there, kind of where the trailer brake system is. It's literally like up in between there. And with the center console in the way, it just takes up so much more room. Like, I contemplated taking it out for a split second. I found the easiest way to get this driver's side installed was to put the vent mode into the dashboard, you know, the top vents. And this allowed me to get the peg and the white gear into the slot that's that little door mechanism that's attached to this driver's side actuator. Now, you guys will notice I'm in a different set of clothes today. Today's the next day. I worked on this for like 4 hours yesterday. Thought it was only gonna take like an hour. Yeah, that didn't happen. It was more like I got like almost 6 hours into this, and I'm not even done. I have to put everything back together, but yeah, that's another story for later. But like I was saying, the driver's side easiest way is put on vent and then get the 2 doors lined up. If you don't get those doors lined up, it'll go back together, but it won't work properly. When I quit last night, the defroster, the dash vents, and the lower vents were all blowing at the same time. I'm like, well, I mean, at least it's blowing, so that's good, but like all of the doors were partially open. By putting it into the dash vent mode, that lines up the gears just properly to where the defroster door is closed and the upper dash vent door is open, and that allowed me to get that, you know, that half circle shaped gear pushed in. Then I was able to line up the actuator and tighten everything down. Now guys, I really didn't film much under the dash just because I struggled so much. It is a total pain in the butt, just a fair warning. It's like, you know, I just showed you where it is. It's literally just 2 screws that come out. They're this side was actually 7/32. I don't know, the driver's side, I'm sorry, the passenger side lower one was a 7 mil, so I don't know why the hardware was a different size, but 7/32. Got those 2, I got the old one out real quick, but getting all the gears lined up properly, I had to do it twice. So I hope you guys learned from my mistakes and only have to do this one time, because doing this the second time really sucked. But hey, everything's back together, everything's working, we should be good to go. I'm just gonna put the dashboard back together, put that lower cover back on. Other than that, that's pretty much gonna be it. There are 2 other door actuators, one on the far passenger side and one on top. I think the one on top is, you know, I'm not really sure. I forgot what role that one plays. The other 2, this one is the same part number as these 2, as the one down there and the one down here. I think this one was a different part number. One of those 2 has a separate part number for the digital automatic dual climate control. And like I said earlier in the video, make sure you guys order the correct ones, because these things have all different part numbers. They change the part numbers. There's 2 part numbers for this truck. The other trucks might have a simpler, you know, a simpler part number system. I don't know. That's just what I experienced in mine. So I hope this video is going to help you guys out fixing your truck air conditioning. Like I said, mine was working, but when I hit a bump, it would not work anymore. So hopefully, putting these new actuators in will help resolve those problems. But that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. If you want to know when I upload new content, hit the bell notification button down below. And as always, if you guys want to help support the channel, click all those links as well. Thanks, guys. Have a great one.